Good morning. Let me know if you have trouble hearing me. I'm going to just check my email to see if anyone's having trouble or they didn't get my email. I just sent an email with some notes. So this is how it's going to be. Well, hopefully I start on time. I'm going to try and start on time. But we are together. There are more than 30 students registered in this class. And my system tells me there's 20 right now. So everybody can hear me well enough. I apologize for the short notice asking you to have the calculator. But you are finance students, so I figured you probably all have one. At the very least, you have the TI-84, and then you can watch this video later with the proper calculator. And I'm just going to check quickly to see if anyone wrote me. No, very good. Okay, so here we are. This will be, this is a required course for the finance program. You should have 3106 already for the course. If you do not have 3106 as a prerequisite, please let me know. Unfortunately, there was an error in the system. There still is. I'm trying to correct it. That's allowing people without 3106 to take this class, and I don't recommend it. I do not recommend it because I'm going to count on you having that knowledge. And what we're going to do is review the topics of 3106, but go even deeper and into greater areas of complexity. So it's going to be tough if you don't have that material. Very good. Okay, so I think most of you are here. So I'm going to go to the prontuario. I did not send you the prontuario, the syllabus. I did send you some notes for today. And I'll send you some more. I'm just taking my time to, I'm giving a lot of courses, and I want to get things right. I even have to beef up the prontuario because I have to include all that I'm doing with technology. So I have to make sure I cover my bases. I put some things in, but I really need more time to make sure it's right. So you'll get it today. I'm going to go through the highlights of the course, and then we'll get into it, okay? So I am an economist, but I've been working with the UPR for 10 years. And before that, I worked 10 years teaching finance classes in Canada. So I am comfortable teaching you this course, and I just want you to be sure, I want to be sure that you're fine with me lecturing in English. The reason why I use YouTube is because with YouTube you can review the video with the captions or the subtitles, and the subtitles will be in English, and you can also translate the subtitles, and I'll send you instructions on that. You can go into the settings tool and do an auto translate, and the translation to Spanish isn't terrible. I know most of you understand my English, but if you want some, if you feel more comfortable hearing the course in Spanish, you can do that. You can translate them. So that's why I like YouTube. I also like YouTube because it's reliable It's got a huge bandwidth, and it will record my videos and post them automatically. The captions take a little while. It takes a few hours. I'm not sure why. Well, I mean, it's a lot to ask, but they do generate automatically. I don't have to do anything. It just takes some time. You can speak in the chat, and if you would like to use a anonymous name in the chat, that's fine with me if you feel more comfortable. I'm not going to require attendance during the lectures, but I highly recommend it, because if you fall behind in reviewing the videos of the lectures, that can be very frustrating, okay? Because it just can pile up. 3 hours is a lot to watch when you're trying to learn from the video. It's better to be in the lecture and then maybe make some notes if you nod off or you get tired. You know, make a note of when you stopped really paying attention and then go back to that time in the video. I include timestamps in the video, if you know what that is. That helps you maneuver through the video and when you're watching it, and just go to the highlights. So if any of you, like, sometimes I fall behind in making the timestamps. Let me show you what I mean by timestamps for people who don't know what I mean. I'm going to demonstrate. I'll put them in the description. I'm just going to find a video. So you can always find the video at this playlist. It redirects you. I'm not sure what I did, but you will get redirected through tinyURL, because somehow I have two sources that point towards the same website, and they don't like that. Let's see where I have timestamps. Okay, here's an example.
Oh, sorry, because now.
Oops, sorry. I should turn my sound off. Okay, so there you go. So there's an example of a video with timestamps. Oh, you can't see it. I have to reposition these. There you go. Okay, so in the description of the video, I demonstrate, I have the time listed, and you can just click on there, and it'll go to that portion of the video. And also it does a really nice thing. It puts a heading on the bottom, so it puts the title. Okay, so also in this playlist, besides the timestamps, the captions, you have a repository of all the videos I've done. Oh, let me see if you see that. Right. So you have a repository of all the videos I've done on finance, and half of them have the timestamps. So I pretty much repeat myself, but maybe you want to see it repeated in a slightly different way. But there you go. So you have all those videos, and I work out exercises. You'll get the hang of it anyway. Okay, do you have any questions? You can put your questions in the chat. You can email me. I have a grader. I said a grader. I have a teaching assistant. What can I call him? I have a, they call it a payoff. Anyway, he's my assistant. And I'm probably going to have him mark your tests. And then maybe if he's good, I'll have him work with you in tutoring. if you need some extra tutoring, but I think you have more than enough material to go through. I encourage you to work together in study groups, but when it comes to the test, that you work independently. And the reason is because at the end, I'm going to give you a final exam. Oh, I have to turn that off. Hold on. I'm going to give you a final exam. And you're going to have to do it on your own. So let's go through the prontuario now. So, okay, so what was I saying? So class is going to be virtual by YouTube. The videos will remain there and you can review them. Sometimes it looks like YouTube cuts me off after 2 hours. So I figured out how to recover the video if that happens. So do not despair. I will fix it. But usually you can just see the video right after class if you need to review it. If you need to speak with me, text me. I left you my number here. Text me and we'll arrange for a virtual meeting if you need to talk to me, if you want help with something. Don't let time lapse, because then the questions will just pile up. And you know this course, the material builds one on top of the other. Okay, so if you don't learn it early, it will just become a bigger problem later. It'll snowball. So the last class is on December 11th, the long semester. The tests will be at the end of the month, so you can count on it, and I'm putting them on Saturdays. So what I'm going to do is send you some questions. They are open book. I'll send you some questions. You'll work on them. It will not take you 6 hours to do it. Should take you an hour and a half. But you have this whole window to work on it. So if people have plans on Saturday, you have to etch out an hour and a half to do this test. All right? It's because I do not want to use the class time for the test. I don't think we have much time to spare. There's a lot of material to be covered. And if you want my help in review, we're going to need the class time. So for the tests, you can use any resource you want except another person. You cannot communicate with another person. You can rewatch my videos, you can go through the notes, you can go to the textbook, you can search the internet. I wouldn't recommend searching the internet, because then you get into a rabbit hole, you get lost going into sites that might not help you, might just be teaching other things that you don't need to know. So stick with my notes and the textbook. We'll talk about the textbook in a minute, but stick to my notes for my tests, okay? So at the end of every month, there'll be a test on the Saturday. Oh, I noticed that this was Halloween, but still, you can pull out, you can squeeze, say, etch out, separate an hour and a half on Halloween to do that. I don't think we've had a Halloween exactly on Saturday in a long time. I don't know how we're going to do Halloween this year. Maybe there'll be no Halloween after all. So anyway, we'll see what happens then. So I decided to just put it at the last Saturday of every month, just for consistency. They will be, I'm going to call them like modules. Some are bigger than others, of topics. And there's going to be like 6 or 7. So each test will have 2 modules covered. That's how I'm going to try and do this. And then the final exam will be cumulative. Okay, this will be cumulative. It will be everything. And that will be during the exam period. I will set it up so that you're writing a test that I set up in Connect. We're going to use Connect for this course, which I'll get to. And I'm going to ask you to use the camera in Connect. That's how I'm going to administer that final test, okay? That makes sure you'll see in the distribution of grades that it's not a huge percentage, but I'm trying to preserve the integrity of the course. I don't want all of these just being done with the risk of people cheating. Let's just say it simply, I don't want cheating. Now, open book is fine. A lot of professors agree that it's just fine because in reality, you are going to, in the workplace, you are going to seek out resources, and you're going to be as good as you are at seeking out resources in the long term. So that's fine. However, the resource has to be your own self with your own documentation, okay? Not leaning on another person. You need to be independent in your knowledge. So the exam, final exam, will be, you can have it open book and use resources, but it's going to have to be in a specified time and with a camera. Okay, so these are the topics, which most of them should look familiar. We're going to focus on time value of money at the beginning, and then discuss going to alternatives to the net present value rule, then discuss we're going to move towards valuation. So we're really going to focus on valuing assets, right? We're going to value assets, stocks and bonds, then projects. We're going to move towards valuing the firm then. And then we're going to talk about capital structure and dividend policy. And I'll give you some readings in ethics. How many of you have had me as a professor before in like 3106? I'm curious. I should have looked at the list more carefully to see if I recognize any names. Any of you in my 3106? This is the textbook we're going to use. The textbook will be available through a link I'll send you in Connect. This is Breeley Myers and Allen. Similar to the Gitman book in that, I mean, the similar topics, but it goes with greater depth. And we've adopted it as the textbook for the class in the department. So no one's had me as an instructor. That's very interesting. Okay. The calculator. I asked you to all come with the calculator today, some calculator. Some of you wrote me and told me you wouldn't be able to get the TIBA2 Plus. So I authorized you, or I said it'd be okay if you use the other TI, the TI-84, which most of you have because you took the MECU classes. But I'm not going to provide in-depth instruction. You'll be able to figure it out, I think, with the instructions I provide, and then maybe review the video with the proper calculator. Okay, let's see questions. Valeria, just the final exam with the camera, that's all. The other ones are just you working, finding time to do the test on your own. Okay, I'm counting on you. So it's much more relaxed in that sense. It's more flexible. But the final is in a set period of time, and it will be monitored. So you have these 3 months. Sorry, I hear a noise. A strange sound. Over these 3.5 months, you'll have time to get organized. So you're preparing always for that final exam. That's going to be timed. Yeah, Jennifer, don't worry about the book. You don't need the book right away. I'm going to send you a link, and then you won't need the book right away. I don't know if I can say when. Hold on 1 minute. I got to go figure out what that sound is. Hold on. Give me a moment. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. All right, so some questions. Okay, the calculator you need is a finance calculator, okay? You need a finance. If you use a scientific calculator, that's not what I'm looking for. The idea is to teach you how to use a finance calculator and use it efficiently. Okay? That's my selected tool because the CFA exam permits two calculators, the TI-BA 2 Plus or the HP 10B2. I've written them in the feed, in the chat. So those are the two calculators that I recommend. The reason why I chose the TI-BA 2 Plus for this class is because it's less expensive. I think the HP could be maybe double the price, and I mean it offers more features for the money, of course, but they're features that we don't necessarily need. We can work with the TI-BA 2 Plus. If you go on and you want to learn how to use the HP, or you have an HP, I can provide you notes on how to use the HP calculator. The other calculators, like the scientific calculators, they're not going to provide the features that the TI-BA 2 Plus or finance calculator will. The TI-84 is okay for now, but please acquire a TI-BA 2 Plus. Okay, so most of you are here, 30 students or 30 people watching. I think I'm one of those viewers. So it's 29 people. That's pretty good. So somebody asked me, oh yeah, so the exams will be, I will just send you the exam and then you will send it back to me by email. Let's just work with email. Although I really don't like Outlook yet. I still am not a fan. I find it's hard to maneuver in Outlook. If anyone's having trouble with their emails, please let me know, because I'm counting on email. I've been communicating with you through the Next portal, so it's sending to your personal emails. Sorry, your institutional emails. But I also have a list of your personal emails, I think, or maybe not. No, that's a different thing I have. Sorry. I have your institutional emails. So the exam, so the test will just be emailed to you, and then you email them back to me, written, and I'll give you part marks for the exams. Let me talk about the test. I'll give you part marks, so you don't have to just have the final answer. But in For the final exam, I'm going to put an exam into Connect, and you will download it and then upload it there. I'm not sure if I'm going to put multiple choice. I still want to be able to grade your work to give you part marks, but I haven't decided about the final yet. If it's just going to be final answers, we'll go into the into Connect. Okay. I don't know the TI Inspire CX. Is that a financial calculator? I don't know. Is that a financial calculator? If it's a financial calculator, you can use it. The point is, I'm trying to give us a level playing field. I'm going to expect you to be able to solve problems that you cannot solve with a scientific calculator. Okay, you can just solve them with a finance calculator. I don't know what that is. Is that a finance calculator? Well, the thing is, if you don't use the one I have, I won't be able to help you with the other ones because I don't know them. I mean, I know some things about the HP. I know some things about the TI-84, but I don't know the Inspire. If you could figure it out, you can use it. But if it holds you back from using a calculator that I haven't recommended, then that's your decision. But I don't think you want to be held back. So you're going to have to learn how to use it efficiently. I was still talking about something else. What was I talking about? Anyway, so I'm not going to monitor what exams you're using, right? I mean, what calculator you're using. The one thing is, during the final exam, I'm going to ask you to turn on the camera, and I'm going to ask you to show me your student ID to make sure it's you writing the test. And that's how it's going to go. And it'll be a 3-hour block of time, so you'll have to set yourself up. It will be cumulative. It'll be a little bit of everything. And it's only 30% of the class, the evaluation, and I expect you all to pass that. So do your best in getting the best grades you can until the final, and then the final will just be a review, so that I feel confident that you learn the material, you feel confident that you performed well with the material on your own, and that's the idea. Okay. So somebody asked me, the app. So the app is just called TIBA2 Plus. If you want the app in iPhone is the TIBA2 Plus. If you try and buy another financial calculator or the free one, it has quirks in it. I don't know, there's glitches. Well, anyway, maybe they've got, they've resolved them. The developers have resolved them, but the app is perfect as far as I'm concerned. I have the app on my phone. It's very handy. If you want to buy it, you can go to Office Max. Any Office Max. I know it's at Walmart. And where else? Any office supply store. Trying to think if it's the big box store. Costco would have it probably too. It's a pretty standard calculator. That's another reason why I asked you to buy that one, because I know it's available. You can get it in Amazon. You can get it from another student in finance. If you maybe know people or have a network of people, go through the FMA and see if somebody will lend you, or you can buy a calculator for them for cheap, okay? Because I require it in my course. So all the students who took it with me in the summer had to buy the BA2 Plus, so they all have a calculator. So the first 3 exams will be through email. The final will be in Connect so that you can use the camera feature. We'll have to do some trials to make sure it works for everybody. We have some time before then, but time does go quickly, so we'll have to do it at some point, the midpoint of the course. All right, so what am I saying here? I say, so we will have lectures, active discussion with many examples. The readings will be from the textbook. I will tell you, yeah, I've listed here the chapters that you can read for the background on the topics. My notes will have slightly, well, the formulas are similar. There's just maybe some different letters, but the structure of the formula are similar. I'm going to recommend that you prepare a formula sheets or pages where you summarize all the formulas for the class. This will help you prepare for the final exam so that you're organized. You'll have most of the formula on sheets and then maybe tabs in your book or your notes. I'm not sure, everyone has different strengths. Some people might just want to print everything that I send them and put them in binders and put them with tabs and use highlighter pens. Other people might be comfortable leaving them in digital format and working with them in a tablet. So you find your style, your studying style, okay? I'm not going to monitor any of that. That's up to you. But the one thing I do recommend or encourage is the preparation of a formula sheet. So I start you off. I'll give you summaries and I'll give you examples. Not examples. I'll get you started, let's say, with the formulas. Okay. So for instance, I just sent you Axel's asking if we're doing options. I'm going to double check because I don't think options is in the options is not in the required list. I think I should do options, but I'm going to check Axel. Okay, why do you ask Axel? Why do you ask? Do you want to learn options, or do you know that we learn options in this class? Because I'm used to teaching this course with options. I mean, in other institutions. Oh, you're interested. Okay. I think I have a video where there's a video that I actually lecture on options. Maybe that would interest you. I'll try. Also, I had a TA. I was teaching this class with options topic in the summer in Canada, and I had a TA and he did some good videos. I did some good videos. I'll make them linkable for you. So I need to double check, but I don't think options is required in this class. I'm going to double check. You should get options in 4137 4137. You should get the options there. Yeah, I know. So anyway, it's a thought of mine too. No, it's not in the official prontuario that I have to teach options, but I'll link to some videos you can watch on options, okay? Oh, did I tell you? Yeah, the Connect. So to get into Connect, because I'm going to also have practice assignments in Connect for you that are part of your grade. So in Connect, you are going to be getting the access to the platform for exercises, and also you're going to get the digital textbook. The physical textbook is not part of the package, but as it is, it's $50 to get into Connect with the digital textbook. Okay, if you want to buy the physical textbook, that's another thing. Oh, maybe it's not the same book. I don't know. Did they change the book? I think that the book was changed last semester. Argenis, you have to check if it's the same book with Professor Charon. I don't know if she actually changed it. This is Breely Myers. Yeah, $50 is a really good deal. Okay, and yeah, it's a very good deal. We got a good deal. And you don't need the physical textbook. Like I said, my notes are gonna get you through, but it's nice to have the reference material. If you want a physical book, you can buy an old version of Breely Myers. If you don't want to spend too much money, you can find one online. Or the students from the summer also, some of them might have bought the textbook. I'm not sure. So, this is the stuff FMA can help you with. Maybe you can ask the FMA. The people in the FMA. Brenda Guzman is the president, I think, right now. Okay, so let's get back to the material. The details of the course. Yeah, I'm going to send you the link for the Connect, so don't worry about that, Mariana. If you're just using a textbook for reference material, I don't think it really matters too much. I'm not going to tell you, go to page 54 and read this case or anything like that. So really it's just for a reference, some background, and the last few editions of the book have been mainly the same. They're just some examples of change to make it up to date, or they change the numbers in the exercises to update the years, or to make the interest rates more realistic or more in line with what we see today. Okay. Which one do I have? Double check. I'm using the (2020) edition. I don't know if that's the 13th, but it's the most up-to-date one. So what I would say is, once I give you the link to get into Connect, you just have a look at the book and get a feeling for reading it. And if you don't like it, you try and find and buy a book. You'll be able to compare them once you get the older book or the older version. Yeah, I don't know if it's the 13th, but it's the most recent. It's the 2020. I have to check if it's the 13th. Check the year to make sure. Okay, let's see. Okay, formula sheet. So I sent you I sent you a few files just to get you started. And one of them is the formula sheet. Oh, and then, well, most of these were updated in the summer, so it'll have summer 2020 on them. There you go. I'm going to show you the formula sheet that I prepared for you. So there you go. What I've done is presented the formula that I will cover in the first set of notes that I've also sent you for unit or module 1. The idea of module 1 is to introduce, well, some of you it's review, most of you should be review of the time value of money concept, but I'm going to use it to introduce other concepts and go deeper into the ideas of annuities and working with these formula to solve more realistic and increasingly complex problems. So we begin with the basic time value of money formula that we'll talk about. And what I do is I reduce most of what you do to a few formulas. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 7 formula on this sheet, and really this is all you need for the course. You just need to learn how to manipulate these to solve for alternate variables using the other variables in the formula to solve for the remaining one. Okay, so you can use this. Obviously, I'm not going to monitor how you're studying. I recommend that you take this sheet, you print it, and then you add on to it formulas for unit 1. You can put them on the back side. Okay, and you should rewrite your formula sheet, keep it clean and up to date, and make sure the formulas are correct. You don't want to be replicating or transcribing the wrong formulas. Okay, so this is the idea. So each module, I'll send you notes, and I'll send you it's like a summary page for most of them. And then I'll also send you exercises. So the exercises are similar to what you'll see on the tests. So as you do the exercises, you're really preparing for the tests. Any questions? Yes, we're going to discuss the exercises in class, Ariette. We're going to have time to do that. Okay? And what I'm going to count on you doing is reading the background material if you want to go in greater depth. Also, so let me finish the prontuario and then we'll get to the notes. So back to the prontuario. Where did I go? So here, so what I'm going to also do is have problems in Connect, I said, for 10% of your grade. I think every other Thursday, so before the class, but every 2 weeks or so, I will put some exercises in Connect that you should prepare. So that will, those are Those are going to be a little bit, well, they're going to be more like connect problems. You have to put the final answer. If you get the final answer wrong, you don't get any part marks, okay? So that's another way to test you and to refine your understanding. Solutions are explained in Connect, so you can see what you're doing wrong. Sometimes the explanation will look different than what I do, but you should be able to read through the explanation. If you have trouble, you can ask me and I'll have a look at it and help you understand. All right, that's just to give you, more standardized approach, because I'm going to teach you one way, but I want to be sure you can answer questions in a standard way, from someone who didn't take my course. All right, so that's that. I'm going to I'm going to introduce the Connect problems for that. Exams, if you miss an exam, you will get 0 as a grade. Sorry, excuse me. Oh, my nose is tickly. I'm trying to turn off the microphone and I'm not doing it successfully. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So if you miss a test, you will get 0. And if you provide an excuse, a valid explanation, including medical documentation, that weight, the component weight, will go on to the final exam. Notice that I weighted the tests all the same, 20%. And then if you miss any of these, that amount will go on to the final exam. So you don't want that, right? Because the final exam is completely different than these. So try your hardest not to miss any of the tests, okay? So keep up and make sure you're available on those Saturdays. If you have any reason that you will not be available on those Saturdays, please let me know immediately. Okay, so put them in your calendar. I did send you this. No, I didn't send you this. I need to send you. So write down those dates. But today I should send you this prontuario. I have a meeting at 1:30, but I should send it to you by the end of the day. But those dates are, the last Saturday of the month. Easy to remember. Well, I mean, easy to remember how I found them. You can go on a calendar to confirm. Oh, I'm not going to have participation, so I have to edit that. So after any test, I give you a couple of days to raise your complaints about the grading. Okay, so once you get a graded test back, let me know immediately if you have any problems with the grading so that we can correct it. Okay, so that's all I have to say about the prontuario. Let's get to the notes. I'm just going to set them up. There you go. So you all got that. Open that up on your computer or your phone. So I guess you have to have two tabs open on your computer. If you're using your phone to view, you'll have to figure it out because I don't know which phones people have. Okay, so this is what we're going to discuss. This is an overview of what we're going to discuss with this set of notes. So this set of notes will comprise the foundation of the course, really. This is time value of money and your basic formulas. And to do this, we're going to need our calculators. So everybody, okay, who does not, how can I ask this? Well, I'm going to teach the TIBA2 Plus calculator, and then the other people who have the other calculators, you'll have to sort out how to set up your calculators. Okay, there's a few things that I want to show. How many of you actually have the TIBA2 Plus that I asked you to get or acquire, borrow, get on your iPhone? So who has the TIBA2 Plus? Get an idea of how many of you I'm speaking to. And it gives you an idea of how many of you. Okay, the app is just fine. Okay, so 3 of you so far. I already sent the PowerPoint. I sent it to your email. Check your institutional email. So every morning or the night before, I'll send you the notes through email. I haven't posted them in Moodle because it just takes time, and sometimes I need to edit things and then I don't update them, and it's a mess. It's easier for me to control them and give them to you when you need them. So only 3 of you have the TIBA2 Plus. That's not good. Okay, the app. Yeah, let me know who has it. Okay. Yeah, so the app you're going to be able to use on the tests. If this was a different circumstance, if you were actually taking this course in person or by hybrid, I would probably not allow the phone. I've done it in the past and I don't allow the phone on the tests. Jennifer, you don't have the PowerPoint? Okay, so we're getting up to like 10 of you. Okay, so about 10 of you, let's say a third of you have the TIBA2 Plus. So the others who are still trying to get it, follow along or follow with your calculator that you have. It can't hurt. Learning a financial calculator, whichever one it is, will help you learn the other ones. Okay, Jennifer, what don't you have? You don't have the notes, or you don't have the formula sheet, or you don't have the calculator, because you said you don't have PP, PowerPoint. Yeah, the PowerPoint. So let me get started with the notes, and then, which are really a PDF, but it's a PDF of the PowerPoint slides. And then you guys can let me know if you need anything. We'll have a couple of hours to cover this. Yeah, just the PDF. We have a couple of hours to cover this, and then I can give you some exercises for the week, okay? And then we can be in touch by email for any questions you have. Or if you need to contact me, text me, and we can arrange for a virtual meeting so I can resolve any issues you're having. All right, let's get going. So to set up the TI BA2 Plus, well, first of all, I want to create some awareness. Like, you want to be able to clear your entries on the calculator. So I want to identify different places where you clear. This is called a hard reset. This will clear everything, all the settings. It will return them to manufacturer default settings. So you don't want to do this unless something's wrong with your calculator. You don't really want to do this because you're going to set up your calculator in 3 different ways that needs to be set permanently for this class, okay? But I'm going to show you this, and this is good if you're just having trouble or you don't know how to erase certain things. I'm going to teach you how to erase the different storage spaces of the calculator after this. But this is just to start. You have to hit clear all. Oh, I'll show you. Let me, I'm going to broadcast the calculator. I don't think I can do it at the same time. Okay, I'm going to try to do it at the same time so you can see the calculator. Oh, one moment. Low signal. Okay, I'm going to do something. I have to set up something with my technology. Hang in there. I got to do something here. Give me a minute.